Deal with just on me. That improvement that I got. That improvement I know what was about.
Go through that.
We ready to go.
Okay, we're gonna have a committee meeting here, solar committee, and we have Emily, correct?
Alyssa,
Alyssa. sorry.
EDF,
Sorry,
important distinction.
Alyssa Rowe, gotcha. Okay, I'm sorry. Messed up already. Okay, you want to discuss solar, where do you want to start?
Yeah, so I can kick it off. So my name is Alyssa Vogt. I'm a project developer with EDF Renewables. We are proposing a 200 megawatt project in Cumberland County. It is, about halfway between Greenup and Casey, and it is bisected by 70 and 40. But I wanted to do a little bit of a project introduction because I haven't spoken to all of you and given you an introduction to this project. So EDF Renewables has been building renewable energy projects as well as operating projects in the United States since the 1980s. So we have a very long-standing history of owning and operating renewable energy assets in the United States. And so I hail out of our Minnesota office, which serves the North region, which is mainly the Midwest. I primarily work in Illinois and Indiana, and I've been doing this line of work for over 4 years now. And so I don't have a PowerPoint for everybody, but you can pass some slides around.
I'm sorry, what was your name?
Alyssa,
Alyssa, A-L.
YSSA.
And where are you from?
So I'm actually from Frankfort, Illinois, which is
Frankfort?
just outside of Chicago, but I currently live in Minnesota.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Where in Minnesota?
Minneapolis. I went to school at the University of Minnesota and never came back for my parents'
How are
chagrin.
the police doing up there? They're holding up?
Not the place for that conversation.
Alright.
But yeah, my parents are still in the suburbs of Chicago.
How
So I
many
come
acres
home.
did you say on that?
Yeah, so it's a 200 megawatt, well, it's a 199 megawatt project to be exact. We currently have around 2,500 acres under lease. That does not mean the full 2,500 acres are going to be covered in panels. That's just what we have signed right now.
Is that Sidwell's?
I cannot disclose landowner names.
Does anybody know if that's Sidwell's?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You think his is farther south?
I
South
think
of
so.
40? Okay. All right.
That's
I'm
my.
educated.
But we are going to tap into that substation that's right off of 40. So we'll do a direct connection into that large 345 kV substation. We are currently in the interconnection process, so working with MISO and Ameren to determine what our final interconnection costs are going to be. We're hoping to finalize that agreement in Q1 of next year. So that kind of sets us up for a construction timeline at the earliest of fall of 2025, with the project being fully operational, being able to plug into the grid at the earliest of December 2026. It is possible that this project schedule gets pushed into 2027. And so that's what leads us here today, is to discuss the permit process. And so we have provided a draft amendment to the solar ordinance. We've taken a review of your solar ordinance, and also we've attended a couple of the last solar committee meetings and have noticed some concessions or agreement to things that contradict what is already existing in the ordinance. And so we want to make sure that those changes are being memorialized. And so some of those examples include support of woven wire fencing, the last discussion of the 36-inch cable depth as well inside the fence and then 5 feet outside of the fence. We wanted to make sure that that is being captured in a legal document.
I do have a new concern. I understand that there are some solar farms that have gone under construction, and so they've been taken out of agricultural use. And then for some reason, that construction phase has stopped and the payment hasn't started for the landowner. And so there is a period of time that has progressed and there's still no payment for the landowner. Now, this isn't in this county, but it is in the state.
Okay.
And so I want to
And
see,
in Indiana,
pardon?
and in Indiana.
Okay, so you're aware of these two. So we need to make sure that our landowners are protected.
Absolutely.
As soon as the ground is taken over by your organization, they get paid.
Right.
All right.
And so that is outlined in our individual lease agreements with our landowners. I frankly am not familiar with those projects where they have stopped payments to landowners. But the way that our lease is written, if we start construction, we start making construction payments.
But I've even been told where they've actually got liens on the property now.
I've heard that too. And the landowners, and they have no control over
Now the posts are sitting there, and
it. It is.
now the
I
contractors
wouldn't do business with any of these folks. No offense, nothing personal, nothing personal.
have filed liens on the landowner.
Okay.
Has there been any, articles about why the developer have stopped construction?
It's vague.
Okay.
It's mostly hearsay.
Okay. And I forgot to introduce you because I always forget to do that. I always just introduce myself. But this is one of our external counsel project attorneys, Sean Pluta. I don't know. if I
Hi,
said your
nice
last
to meet
name.
everybody.
Met before.
Yeah,
Good to see you again.
good to see you too.
Are you in Minnesota too?
I'm in St. Louis.
Okay, that's right. You told
Yeah, so
me. Relative.
a little closer. Go Billiken. I was a bear. So yeah. So my name's Sean Pluta. I'm with the Polsinelli Law Firm. My colleague Mark Gershon, white-haired guy, has been here at a couple of meetings as well. And like Alyssa said, one of the elements of our presentation is our proposed solar ordinance revisions, and I want to make sure it's clear that these are revisions. Some of them are extensive in some areas, but for the most part, everything that's in your original ordinance, we tried to keep in. I think I have a couple takeaways from attending a previous solar committee meeting and from what I've heard from what my colleagues have said that have been here. Some of what the solar committee is asking for is not enshrined in your ordinance. And we would like it to be so that it's clear that this is the mandate that the county has.
Across the board.
Exactly. One of the other issues that I think you actually brought up during a previous meeting was that you want something that at the end of the day, both sides know what they've agreed to. Right now, the ordinance as it stands is one that basically says that if you comply with these standards, then you can build your solar farm here. That's not the same as a permit where or some binding thing that you voted on where we've submitted an application, you know what it is that we intend to build, and you've approved that specific project. We think it's important that if you intend to bind a developer to a certain form of a project that they've told you about, that's something that's enforceable on your ordinances. The other thing that we've identified moving through your ordinance is that some of it is duplicative or a little bit different than what's required under the AMA or what's required under the state statute. And we want to make sure that the ordinance that's on the books aligns with that ordinance, that aligns with that state statute so that it's enforceable, so that you don't run into an issue where there are differing standards and we're not sure which apply. So all of this has to be taken with a grain of salt. We're a developer that has submitted a proposed ordinance. We emailed a copy to Mr. Robbins last week, which was cruel to do on a short week. And I know that he's been too busy to have a chance to review it. And
Look at it.
yeah,
Today,
and
just before our meeting tonight, so I haven't viewed it.
Okay.
And did you have the recommended corrections put in there?
right. So the only copy of your old ordinance is a PDF. I tried to do the thing where you compare two PDFs, but because I changed things as basic as the outline columns and stuff, it's unreadable. If there's a Word document, I'm happy to send a red line. I'm also happy to kind of walk through the revisions that we made, so I can point out the areas that are substantially different. But
Can you get it on Word?
I didn't draft it, so I don't have it on Word. I'm the same as you. I've got the PDF. It's hard to read, but Sean did a good job in his email of telling me where the changes were, so I just read them side by side. So a red line would be nice, and
Okay.
those are always preferable. But I didn't have a Word document to send you, so
okay. I can try to create a one-to-one Word document. The one thing I'll probably have to change, and I'll be very transparent about that, is I'll update the outline headings for your original ordinance. I'll keep everything the same but the outline edits, so that it's more of a one-to-one comparison. Because if you chip the outline things, and the computer doesn't know how to handle it.
Thank you. You're right.
But I'm happy to walk through each of these sections of the ordinance, so I can talk through where the changes come from, if any, and kind of work with you on what it says. We are not trying to walk away tonight with an agreement from any of you that this is the exact ordinance that we want you to pass. We just wanted to start a draft so that we can start a dialogue to create a formal permit process.
Okay.
If that
You
is
wanna go
what you want.
I'm game. Yeah.
Yeah, that is good. Go through it.
You guys are. I'm ready.
More than ready.
Okay, so if we want to go paragraph by paragraph, I'll note that there were probably some typos that got cleaned up, or some minor changes to make the language consistent. So I'm not prepared to say exactly where each individual change is, but I have noted where we've made what I would consider to be substantial changes, and we can kind of move through where those changes are. So section 1 scope, I think that's almost word for word. I think I changed some of I added commercial solar energy facilities. That's sort of the in vogue term for solar energy facilities that are regulated like this. That kind of takes out small solar that would be, for people's homes and stuff like that. The purpose section, I believe, is identical to what the purpose. Oh, and I also have copies of your old ordinance. That would be helpful.
Sure.
I can pass them out.
Thank you.
Apologies if I did not bring enough copies.
Yeah, I've got one.
Okay,
On my
then
computer,
if you-
So section 3, at least the first few subparagraphs are what's new. Section 3 is a siting approval application and approval process. This is the formalization of your requirements into something where we're going to send you a list of what it is that we want to build, and you're going to simply sign off on it. I believe the bones of the approval process that I used to formulate this were off of Perry County's solar ordinance. And I would encourage you to reach out to other counties to see what they're doing, make sure that we're not trying to pull a fast one here. But essentially it would be, we provide you an application that provides the general basics of what our project is, and that we provide an application fee that's used in part to cover the county's expenses in reviewing our application, since your time here is valuable. Paragraph C is a commitment to reimburse the county hired engineer consultant. I understand that at a previous meeting, an issue came up that the solar committee addressed, which was that you wanted to hire a third-party engineer to review an application to make sure that it's in conformance with your requirements. That's something that's, standard in other counties, that they have the ability to hire a consultant to review. We want to give you the tools to do that. We have a commitment that, the developer would pay for $5,000 of expenses for an engineer consultant to review the application materials.
I guess I would just, for you on Ben, since you would be our third-party engineer, likely is $5,000 a reasonable amount, or is that cutting it close?
On the projects that I've worked on, it was set up in $5,000 increments.
Okay.
Good job. More so on wind projects where the review is a lot more expensive, but they would actually set up an escrow account, and the developer would be responsible for placing money in the escrow account. Billing would go through the county, but the actual payment would be usually escrow account. What we've discussed here with on the next on what we've discussed with RWE, we just set an agreement between the consulting firm I work with and RWE, and it would be a direct payment. And then the agreement that I had for the board, basically this consultant would do, but within the text of the agreement, the payment, I attached the agreement between RWE and HLR and reference that as an exhibit, stated that the payment would be made directly.
Okay, so I guess my question though is still, is 5,000 enough? We're not gonna get into this.
I
You're
would
gonna
say
be-
it's not.
No.
I should also specify, I was a little imprecise. So there's $5,000 in added expenses, but in paragraph 3, it also says that the county may use application fee funds. So it would be potentially 10.
Right, then we'd be dipping into our application fee.
Yeah.
So you're saying no, 5,000 wouldn't cover it then?
It would be up to that, I would say. The time, I've started some of the review of RWE right now. But I would say that amount of money would catch the.
Well, let's use the terminology $5,000 increments. And, as needed.
That's what I've seen in the past.
Yeah. So do you have a problem with that?
Well, I can't make a commitment right now, but if there's,
But
a
let's
specific
consider it.
dollar, yes, right. Yep.
Fine. So,
Yeah.
We'll have to,
would you like to
see
use
how the
any other
language plays out.
terminology?
That's fine for me because 3 just gives them up to 5,000. So if Finn comes back and says, well, I've got 5,000 spent, but you guys need to spend another $3,000 or $4,000. Well, it's not gonna happen unless we pay it or they agree to pay it, and then it's not in the contract.
So,
Right.
all right.
My
So what you're
concern would be
saying,
unlimited $5,000
I mean, the
increments.
hourly rate for an engineering firm, 5,000, not very many hours.
9 hours for time.
Yeah, but it's language that we can play with. Okay. D, E, and F and G all sort of refer to the formal process for submitting the application and for conducting an evidentiary hearing that's in line with state statute requirements, Open Meetings Act.
Okay, so the notice of hearing, is that something that the county needs to incur as far as publishing in the newspaper, or?
Typically, it's the developer that incurs that fee. And counties differ on whether or not notice is handled by the applicant or the county. In our experience, it's a little easier for the applicant to do it. Of course, with the notice, we would send you a draft of what the notice says and you'd approve. But I think it's a little easier for the developer to do it.
Wholeheartedly in agreement with that, so can we add that in?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so I think we were through F and then G. I don't see any problem with G. the board would need to think about that. I mean, you're obligated under this ordinance, your own ordinance, to make a decision no more than 30 days after the public hearing. You guys feel confident you can make it within that 30 days? I don't have a problem with it, but
Want to make it 60? You see any reason to?
So, and I want to check on this. I think the state statute requirement is 30 days post hearing. I think that's where I got that date from.
okay, you check on that. But
Yeah.
I guess the thing is if you guys hear a proposal, depending on what month it is, you know, if it's October or something like that with 31 days, you may not have another stated hearing or another stated meeting until past 30 days. You may have to have a special meeting to the decision if you don't do it on the spot after the public, you know, at the public hearing.
Just have
something to
costs.
consider.
We have costs when we have to do that, so it would be helpful.
Okay, so the statute is 55 ILCS 5/5-12/020.
You've lost, where you at?
Sorry, this is on just the state statute, which
Oh.
sorry you don't have a copy of.
Okay.
Um,
Brian's looking it up. Do you need it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
I was at 55 ILCS.
we
can't.
I got a position on the state.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I think we're gonna appoint somebody to their board. One of us.
Yeah, I would agree. She had it to me. I would agree that's the way the statute reads, so you guys are just gonna be stuck with it. Just make a decision that day.
And that'll work. We'll make it work.
okay. And you know, I encourage you, I know that we've sort of breezed through this last page, but if you have any additional comments as you read through it, you know, later on after today, all ideas are good ideas in a brainstorm. So, H, I, J, and K are simply provisions that talk about how the permit process operates.
So in H, the way I read it is it takes discretion away from the board. It says the county board shall, which is mandatory language, approve a siting approval application, provided the application meets the requirements and standards set forth herein. So the way I read that, as long as you fill out the application correctly, the board's required to approve.
Yeah, and I think part of this comes from the state statute. The state statute, and I'll find the specific language within. But the state statute, because it provides the comprehensive list of the requirements that a county is allowed to adopt with regard to regulating solar facilities, assuming you meet the maximum of whatever those requirements are, the state statute doesn't appear to give room for a county to have independent discretion. And it's, you know, obviously that's a bit of a legal argument. So, you know, if you wanted the time to review that and, you know, to talk about it later, I'm happy to do that.
That would be the same thing with I. So, I mean, the way I read it is, as long as you guys fill out the application correctly, the board is required to approve the application and then issue a permit. I haven't, I'm certainly not as familiar with the statute as you are, but doesn't make a lot of sense that they would give county boards the authority to issue rules and regulations, but then just say it really doesn't matter.
Well, I think it's that the county board has the authorization to make any or none of the requirements that are set forth in the statute, but that they can't make requirements that are extraneous to what's in the statute to, you know, subvert the intent of the state statute.
So you're saying this is in the statute?
And in the reading of the statute, yeah.
In the
So.
statute. You're just reminding us, hey, this is in the statute, so you're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it's important to have an ordinance that is enforceable, and you know, we need to know what the preemptions are in order to make an enforceable ordinance around it.
In other words, what he's saying is this ordinance, they fill out the application correctly, you're giving them a permit.
Yep.
The way this is written.
Yep. I think that's what we hear.
I think what I'd like to see, Sean, and you can just email it to me,
Yeah.
is the part of the statute you're relying on that would make that mandatory.
Sure.
Then also K, it looks like, the way I read it is you guys can get the approval and then just transfer it to another business if you see fit.
Provided that they sign on to everything that they're required to do under the permit. That this is a fairly common paragraph that's in other county permits or county SUP application requirements. I can send you a couple other examples.
And there's no discretion of the county board to say, no, we don't want you transferring to this to some outfit out of China that has a history of environmental violations.
Yeah. Typically, there's no county approval that's required. And again, I'll send you some examples. But I think it's, and I understand that there may be some reluctance to believe us, but we wouldn't just sell to human rights abusers.
Well, you're putting it in there for a reason. I'll tell you that. It seems like these companies just start something up and they sell it and they sell it.
Yeah. But I appreciate what you're saying.
Yeah.
Very vague contract, yes. Very vague.
Well, it gives them a lot of leeway. Like I said, typically they wouldn't do it, but if they do it, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't say, oh, you're violating ordinance. Say, no, there's not cases we can do it. So
Yeah, I mean, I guess the case for allowing transfers like that are that, they're stepping in the shoes of the person that filled out the application. So if they've agreed to do everything that you've allowed us to do, what's the difference between us?
Yeah, they have to comply with the decommissioning requirements that are also in our lease agreements with our landowners, as well as what is in this agreement with the county, as well as what is in the agreement with the state. And so if another company that we transfer to does not comply with that, then you can revoke our permit.
well, I mean, generally you contract with people that you trust. I mean, it's just like a renter saying, well, hey, I just want to sign my lease to my cousin Joe Bob over here. And you're like, well, I don't like Joe Bob. I've seen places that Joe Bob's rented when he tore them up. And I don't want to rent to Joe Bob. And you're like, well, you know what? He's going to sign in the same lease that we have. So what's the difference? Well, the difference is, we're here talking to you guys face to face, developing a relationship and some trust. Or somebody that comes in that you assign to, we don't know who these people are. And obviously, like I said, the statute better than I do, but it just doesn't set well that essentially cram it down our throats and say, well, statute allows us just to tell you what it is, and as long as we comply with it, you have to approve it, and if we want to assign it to somebody else, name that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hear you.
and not the legislature wouldn't write something like that. I'm definitely not calling you a liar. I'm not, like I said, I'm not as familiar with the statute.
Yeah, I can write you a response on
Okay.
the issue of assignment and kind of talk through the elements of that.
Okay. I think that takes it takes all the questions I had through.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So dropping to the section 4, other standards. This is the same title as what's on page 1 of the current ordinance, which is also other standards. A lot of these standards we've kept the same. Some we changed to be in conformance with the state law, and some we changed to be in conformance with what the solar committee indicated that they wished for during previous meetings. Running through them, paragraph A, stormwater and NIPD's permit, that's the same language. So we haven't changed that. For B, ground cover and buffer areas, one revision that we made to what's in the current ordinance is it's on the second sentence. Unless otherwise required to comply with applicable law, any topsoil that is relocated on site as a part of construction activities shall be restored following construction activities or stored on the project site to be used during decommissioning and restoration activities. The way the current ordinance reads, I think it says no topsoil is to be removed, but I think probably what the intent of that was, obviously topsoil may be disrupted minimally to put down, the pilings. But if we keep, I think the goal is to not lose any topsoil because it's valuable to the farmer and would be valuable to whoever takes the land after we're gone. So what we wanted to make clear is that in the event that topsoil is removed, as long as it stays on site and is available for use during decommissioning, that's authorized as well. So we're just trying to clarify rather than change, but I understand that is a revision.
Following that, Todd.
Yeah, I'm not following either. So
Basically he's saying that if they mess with any topsoil, they're not gonna haul it off. It's gonna stay on site. And if it goes to decommissioning, they take everything down. They have to use that topsoil to put back on.
That's right.
Which I can't see them wanting to build berms, but that's just taking up land that you could have panels on.
Yeah. I don't know
So
where they're gonna store it.
I guess they just spread it out over the other part of the field, or they would build roads, would be the only reason I would see why they would move topsoil.
Yeah, there's certain areas within our fence that we might not be able to put panels on, just for various design issues, but that's still within our fence area, and so we might have grassy patches. And so that's where topsoil gets laid out, and then it just turns into pollinator and native vegetation.
Have you done any other projects with stockpile?
Yeah,
topsoil?
I was actually just at a site. So it's currently under construction. It's in Ohio. It's in Madison County, which is just outside of Columbus. It's a 577 megawatt site, and we are
How big is that? How many acres?
3,500, maybe more. So for comparison, this is a 200 megawatt project. That one's 577, so significantly larger than what we're proposing here. And I was just on site, and it's just a giant dirt pile right now. And I was able to see where they're planning to spread it out.
But this is really about not removing it from the site.
Yeah, so the ordinance as written says topsoils shall not be removed during development unless part of a remediation effort. So having the lawyer brain, we get really nervous about words like shall not be removed. Because it would read as you're not allowed to touch this at all. And obviously that's not the intent, I think, behind that sentence.
Okay.
So we want to clarify that.
Well, I do have a question though. You used the word project site, but when you're talking 2,000 acres, are you gonna take my topsoil off of this 40 that I own and
Okay,
you'll give it to somebody else because it's all within the project site?
good thought.
It is. I do not know how that works in practice.
So
For parcels.
but if
So
we-
like say
if we
you
just-
own one parcel and then it gets transferred to another parcel. I don't know how that works. So I can go talk to my construction.
it's a problem, and it also says, the next, unless otherwise required to comply with the law, any topsoil that is relocated on site as part of the construction activities shall be restored. Guess no real definition of what restored means, but assume that means Todd would get his topsoil back, would be restored to its original location, following construction activities, which could be years. And then also has the alternate or stored on the project site to be used during decommissioning and restoration activities. So does that give you the option to say, well, Todd, you've got your topsoil at the end of the project, we're going to store it till we decommission. So you're not getting your topsoil till they decommission 30 years down the road.
Because it would remain on those parcels. So that goes back to your concern of, well, are we moving it to other parcels?
Do a big pile even.
Right.
Just saying, hey, it's still on site. We're in compliance.
So yeah, this is helpful because this is not written in now. I think what we probably need to add in is a bit of language about we use it at the landowner's direction. And let me take a look at what the AMA says and what other provisions of the law say about what we need to do with the topsoil so that it's kept. Because I don't think that certainly our intent is not to become like topsoil brokers 30 years from now.
Well, my concern is, I mean, are you guys gonna take soil samples before you start? That way you know what the pH and stuff levels are in these fields prior, and then you're saying you're gonna bring it back to
On the reclaim.
the standard. Well,
Yeah,
maybe the pH has changed. You're gonna have to add pH or whatever.
I am not sure the level
That's not in
that
there.
we reviewed the
And then-
topsoil.
If my topsoil is 6 inches deep or 2 foot deep, who knows what that is unless you have a firm go in and do cores to find out what.
And I'll
think
go
this is
into
my
what
layers are.
restoration really means. Yeah, because you restore it back to pH levels, you restore it to the same
So
down.
you may want to write that down.
Yeah, it's something that we could flesh out.
Okay, so
There
yeah,
could be a lot more to restoring than what you're just saying.
yeah.
Pull the poles and you're done.
Yeah, and I mean, some of that is governed by the AMA. I think that's a chief document in, how restoration activities are supposed to be handled. And then a large part of that is in our landowner agreements about what our commitments to the landowners are. But I do think that it makes sense to add some language in here that clarifies what we mean by moving the topsoil and making sure that it finds a home where it belongs and isn't something where it becomes a bargaining chip later on, or something that's, unreasonably withheld from the landowner. So, or withheld at all, really. Okay, so I'm gonna look at that. So C, I'm sorry, are we done with B?
I'm done with you.
Okay. C is fencing. What we changed about fencing was, based on your conversations with RWE. Your current ordinance provides that fencing shall not include barbed wire or woven wire designs and shall use wildlife-friendly fencing standards. I think what we understood from the solar committee's discussions with RWE was that maybe this statute needs to be a little bit, or the ordinance needs to be expanded a bit more so that we use fencing that's designed to accommodate surrounding use and wildlife, which may include woven wire, depending on the needs of the surrounding community and what makes sense for the specific topography. So we've, I think, changed this ordinance to be more or less what you decided was correct for RWE. Let me know if I got that wrong.
So you like that, 6 to 10 feet?
Well, it says that, but then it also says required by Apple state and federal law. So if state and federal law says 4 foot, then that's what it can be.
So the
We're 12.
20.
So the only state reference to this in the state statute governing what counties are allowed to adopt says that that you can require between 6 and 25 feet. So if you require us to be at 6 feet, we have to do it unless there's a really good specific reason that another statute controls. Like, and I don't know that this exists, but if there's some rare jackrabbit that needs to be able to jump over a fence, then maybe we need to adopt a 4 foot, but it would be very specific. But the state law generally says that you're allowed to require us to be at least 6 feet and as high as 20. But I don't think anybody wants a 20-foot fence. So,
I don't think they don't pay for it either.
No. I thought last time we kind of decided that could be left up to the landowner.
Fencing.
The type of fencing?
Yeah.
So we have one fence around the entire project site with where all of our panels are going to be located in. So then that would mean would each landowner have, yeah, so it would.
Yeah.
Part
There's
for
40
chain
barbed
link,
wire, there's
part,
20.
right, or different types of fencing, and how do you connect that?
Yeah, I follow you.
Okay, we done with C,
Well, we'll just put a number on there.
6 to 10?
Yeah.
More specific?
6 to 10, fine with me.
So pretty much as it's written.
Yeah.
Okay. D?
Paragraph D, that's the same, I think, to what's in your original. Just that we need to be in compliance with local, state, and federal law. That's in every single solar ordinance that I've seen. So that's pretty standard. E, we made a few changes. One is that there was an imprecise word, which again, the lawyers in the room hate when that happens. The power and communication lines running between inverters. Currently, that term is banks, and bank isn't a term of art in the industry, so
That's fine.
a little unclear what it meant. So we switched it to inverters, which I think achieves the policy goal of the line burial. The other changes that we made here are that we added burial depth restrictions that we think that the solar committee adopted for RWE, and we updated the language so that it would conform with the AMA protections and other protections provided by state law.
On E, it says power and communication lines running between the inverters to nearby electric substations should be buried. Shouldn't you have the option to run them overhead too? I mean, if you're going to a substation that may be 5 miles away, you're not going to bury five miles of cable. Am I reading that wrong?
You can give us the ability to do either. We'll be okay with that, to bury or above ground.
So why would you?
Depends on if you want to look at the poles or not.
Well, I mean, they already got poles all the road anyway.
And if we want to make that a discretion of the landowner.
Yeah, but we don't have any solar, you've got solar, but wouldn't you rather have it underground?
They don't really matter to me.
Okay. So let's keep
I
moving.
got
36
clean
inches.
line coming through all my property anyway.
Yeah, so the AMA, full disclosure, I don't know this, but the AMA might require us to bury it.
Yeah, okay.
But
Even to the substation.
maybe,
I think
yeah.
it might be all underground or
Yeah.
all cables.
So we can take a look at that. I mean, certainly if you prefer that this be, we talk to the landowner and see what the landowner wants. I don't think
Cheaper to
that's
go
a,
overhead.
sure.
Let's stay with it. There's no benefit to us to do that, really. And 36 inches, is that like a required depth, or is that something we agreed to already?
That was discussed at the
I
last
thought it was too.
solar committee,
And you're good? with
within the
36?
fence, yeah,
Well,
and then 5
the
feet outside of
36
the
was
fence.
What we were talking about, I thought inside the fence, but if they're going clear to the substation, I'd rather see it deeper. Back to a deeper line, because I know how
That-
the
the
contractors are when
substation-
they're going through, creeks and different things.
Yeah, so here, if I grab this.
And we're not just talking about your outfit, though, we're talking about other outfits too, so.
That is fair.
If your substation's within your acreage, then you don't have to really worry about it, but if someone's solar farm is away from a substation and they've gotta go to it.
Well, I think the way that it's written, it's cables inside the fence line are buried at a depth of 36. And so then if your project area, you have to run a gen tie is what we call it. So that would be your project is not directly adjacent to the substation. That would be outside the fence line. And so those cables would be buried at 5 feet. And so I think that covers your concern.
Yeah, that's the next sentence down. Cables outside the fence line shall be buried at a depth of 5 feet.
I remember we had that discussion last time. Hey, JT, how are you?
Tired.
Whatever. Okay,
It's the job. Quit the job. Just quit the job.
I know.
outside
So-
the job, of the proposed site versus to the substation several miles away.
The deeper the better. The only thing is that you got two slow people crossing, so it's not gonna be deeper or shallower.
Right.
Well, and I think it's a
We won't
minimum
get into
depth.
it 5 feet deep.
Right, that's what I'm wanting, to keep us out of it. Alrighty,
Yeah, and with both the inside the fence line and outside the fence line, there's an unless and number 3 for both of those is unless otherwise agreed in writing with the landowner. So if there's a special concern that the landowner has about needing to be buried at a different depth, that's something that the landowner can, work with us on. And in any case, if a developer brings you a project where they said, we're using a different burial depth, and we have it, in writing with the landowner, you can ask to see that so that, you make sure that they're not lying to you. So F is a site plan. This is in your ordinance, but we made one revision, which more or less brings you in line with how other counties work, which is that when you submit the application, generally the site plan that's provided at that time is a proposed site plan. The reason it's not considered a final site plan is that the ability to having the permit initiates a lot of other land surveying and preparing steps that are necessary to figure out exactly where panels are going to go, and to figure out if there are any if there's anything weird about the land that we need to address prior to finalizing our site plans. So what we've done is provided that what will be in the application is a proposed site plan, and that a final site plan will be provided to the county before we begin construction. That way, you've got something on record that shows you exactly where everything is prior to construction. This is something that's pretty consistent in other counties. Some counties have a solar a SUP application, and then they have a building permit. Others just have an SUP application. For the counties that have just the SUP application, generally there's a requirement that prior to beginning construction, you provide some sort of engineer certification that you're okay to build.
And as long as you guys, so after it's approved, you guys can change anything except for megawatt or additional land, and it shall be considered approved.
Yeah. So, and the reason that that's in there is obviously if you've approved us for a specific swath of land, you obviously would not want us to then go build something on another plot of land. Similarly, if we've said that we're building a certain size of project, and all of a sudden the project doubles in size the next day, like that's obviously a problem and not in line with what our application provided. The allowance to allow us to reduce the footprint is there so that if we encounter that there's a wetland that we didn't know about that's on the land and we can't use that area, we're just not going to build on that area. And that wouldn't require us to come back and get an application, which we think is fair because you're not impacting any more of the land. In fact, you're impacting less of the land.
But to make sure the board was aware of that change. That's in there.
Okay.
Not familiar with solar energy farms, so I don't know what else would change other than those two as far as variables. Todd knows more than anybody on this, so.
How would that work though? If that, what you just said, that landowner, say he owned the wetland part of it, and you guys didn't apparently notice or know, I would think you would before you start a project. And then you get their approval, and then you say, oh, no, we changed mine, we're not gonna do that. And then you box that property in, and you completely devalue that property.
We take that into consideration with our site plan to know, is this a wetland that is in the middle of our, project and nobody's going to be able to use this land? Or is it on the outside edge of our project where, maybe there's some other land within the project that we also can't use, and we can release that back to the landowner so that they still have the ability to farm it. So we work with our landowners on an individual basis when that happens. But another example of, how the site plan can change is today we are making assumptions about the technology that we are using for a project that is going to start construction in late 2025. Though that technology can change over the next year, and that might change the permitting layout because panels might be a bigger size, they might be more efficient, and so that might change where we would locate panels within the project boundary.
And reduce the number of panels. If the panels get better, then we don't need as many to hit our megawatt capacity. And so the final site plan that we would submit prior to construction would reflect any of those changes that happen because of the passage of time. So are we ready to move to the next paragraph?
Yes.
Okay. Paragraph G, setbacks. More or less, we kept the setback restrictions that were in the current setback. The one thing that we added was reference to the state statute in the second sentence. Setbacks to public road rights of way shall be consistent with 55 ILCS 12020 unless a lesser setback is allowed by the county. So basically what we're saying is the county is adopting the maximum setback that is allowed under the state statute unless it otherwise reduces that setback. So, that it gives you the best of all possible worlds with regard to setbacks. Unless you want to give us less of a setback. The next paragraph, H, I believe is the exact same. I think there was a typo, so I fixed that, but I don't think I made any material changes to H. Same with I. I don't think I changed any of that. J is construction over pipelines. In the original version of J, that also included drainage districts. And I removed that because the state law restricts regulations relating to drainage districts. The state law provides that counties are allowed to mandate that we repair and replace any drain tiles that we affect, but they do not allow prohibitions on constructing around drainage districts or drainage ditches. So we removed that to bring that paragraph in conformance with the state law. So that's something else that you can check on. And I think I cited to the paragraph, or yeah, it's in footnote 6, 12020T, that restricts county ordinances relating to drainage districts. So moving to K, farmland damage mitigation. This looks different than the current damage mitigation sections. That was done for several reasons. The first is I think some areas like the depth of burial of cables is covered in other sections. So it would have been duplicative. So that part was removed. There are regulations around in the existing ordinance around rights to build around drainage districts that were removed to bring it in compliance with the state law. There's also a provision of the solar ordinance, the solar law, that restricts measures beyond what's included in the AMA. So the revisions here bring the ordinance in line with recognizing that the AMA protects landowner rights, and limits the ordinance only to what's, currently enforceable.
And what we saw as the big concern for us as a developer in the original damage mitigation was it is not specified between county-owned drains and privately owned drain tile. And so we know on our land with our landowners, there's some, pattern tile that are within 30 feet of each other. And the way that this clause reads says that we cannot disturb any tile, and we have to have a 30-foot construction buffer on either side of the tile. And so if we have a piece of land that has 30-foot pattern tile on it, that means we wouldn't be able to construct over that entire parcel.
And I understand that this is one area where the state law, creates a pretty rough restriction, which is, it says that, potentially a developer could, impede on every drain tile that's in the area as long as they repair and replace it. But repairing and replacing costs money, and it's obviously a developer's consideration about trying to avoid drain tiles where possible so that they don't need to pay to replace them.
And EDF's policy around drain tile is that we are going to install new drain tile to fit around our project. It's harder for us to, try to identify drain tiles when there might not be accurate GIS data. And so it's important for us to have a system that is draining appropriately. And we also have requirements with our adjacent neighbors that we cannot cause flooding onto their land. And so our best practices prior to us pile driving is we will install an entirely new drainage system that works for our project design. I also want to be respectful of time. It's around 6:56.
Yeah, it's about out of time. Anything important you need to dwell on about your road use agreement? Is there engineer, you're good with the road use agreement?
Right. So yeah, we haven't requested revisions to the road use agreement. The only thing that we changed.
They only had one paragraph.
Okay.
Yeah. So the old one for under the use of Cumberland County public roads, the old ordinance says C ordinance, and we just reference what that ordinance is. And
Okay. Okay.
the decommissioning section is the one other that was changed to conform with applicable law. But again, we're going to work on providing a red line so that you guys can see exactly what we did.
Yeah. So
Richard, you have the Word version of this, of the ordinance?
Yes.
Okay. Could you send it to me and I'll forward it on to Sean, keep you from having to type it in?
Thank you.
Any other questions, anybody, or that's okay?
So how are we leaving this? You two are gonna correspond and get the paperwork right, and then we'll look it over one final time?
Yeah.
are we okay to come to be on the schedule for the next solar committee meeting to, further this discussion?
Yeah, I think so.
You can, yes, you can.
But in the meantime, if there are any questions, feel free to contact, send us an email. All right, I think you have my information. Do you?
I got your number somewhere. You tell me something?
Yeah, you have my card now.
Okay, you that all out, Allison, that okay, you then? All right. Emily, you got anything to say about this, or were you planning on saying something this evening, Emily?
I'm just in the audience, but sounds good.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you for your
Thank you
time.
for your time.
All right, very good. We got a couple minutes till the meeting starts, and that's the end of the solar committee meeting. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. Can you make it?
What time is it tomorrow?
6:30?
Probably not.
I can go to that one if you can't, and then that will be my last one.
Okay.
No, but maybe Thursday.
I still won't be able to make it work next 3 days.
Yeah, I thought it was Wednesday. It's the third Wednesday. But yeah, it's usually at 6:30. So you don't want it?
Not till
About the solar meeting.
after tomorrow's meeting, or whenever this week's meeting is, then I'll take it. Did you go to the thing last Thursday? Was it the internet thing?
You had a live one for lunch.
Oh, yeah. Norris.
You had a live.
Yeah.
Went down to Norris. Yeah, we had a big conversation there. They don't want to put it on the wires, but Shelby Electric, they have a guy who does put it on their poles. I said, well, I just put it on their poles. I did meet with, a couple. No, I didn't. I did talk to,
Yes, that works there. I've been waiting for a bag, counting every month.
That's right.
He works over there in office.
Jasper County
So I want a bag
representative
of candy.
Actually,
there.
Todd,
So
I give you some East candy bars, that'd be considered dry,
so
right?
far I've talked to
No, I'm gonna pay for it.
Coles County, Clark County, Lawrence County.
I can make some money off it.
You make some money off it, yeah.
Jasper County, as well as Cumberland. We will all kind of combine. What we need to do is set up committees of 5 to 7 people. We will act autonomously as based on what our county's needs are. And then there will be certain things that we'll work together on. So starting next week, there is a 12-week session on how to set up your committees, what their responsibilities are, how to, bid, send it out to bid, how to apply for the grant. There's a pre-grant that is between 30 and 100,000, which would pay for our staffing needs to actually implement this, so we can apply for that right away. And we need to find somebody to help us with that. Talk to Katie and Kenzie a little bit about it, and see if they wanted to add a person to their office, because Katie's GIS, we'll need those GIS skills and things, so it's kind of turning around in there, but it's so vague, and it's so new, and it's all moving so fast.
You never told me, you never confirmed that.
So that's something that we can talk about.
I did listen, you said that, and I said, well, you had also said it before, but this time they said
I want to
no.
go to Clark County with our beads coordinator. Hillary Raines is her name. She's living in Springfield, but she's from Crawford County, which is great for us because she gets to go home every time she comes out to work for us, so that's helpful.
Fran.
And then, so we're gonna go to Clark County for their county board meeting and just say howdy. And
I'm
this is
starting
what's
meeting,
going on.
folks. Please call the meeting order. Pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Roll call.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade. Yes. Harmon,
Yes.
Layton.
Yes.
Kay.
The oldest one there too.
Yes. County, a motion to approve the agenda.
Move it.
Second.
Is that Janet?
Janet.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay. Hockenberg.
Yes. I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting held on October 10th.
Motion approved.
Second.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay.
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Hockenberg.
Yes. Howdy, for special, the most approved minutes of the special board meeting held on October 24th, 2023.
I'll make a motion.
Have a second on that one? That was the first one we discussed the budget, right? Which one? Okay.
What's on the table?
A motion to approve minutes of the special board meeting held on October 24th.
And that's the budget.
Budget meeting, you were there, right?
Okay, yeah, I'll second it.
Harmon,
Abstain.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay.
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Slade,
Abstain.
Hilgenbrand.
Yes. Next, we have public comment. I have several people wanting to do public comment, so let's do one at a time. Who wants to go first? Mike Black, you want to go first?
Thank you. I have other engagements, so I wanted to speak and just give you an update on the ambulance. Last month, this is the September runs for, during the October financial report, for the total of 33, 6 Medicare, 15 Medicaids, 4 refusals, 8 ALS intercepts. And for a total of 33, so I questioned the ALS intercepts. I said, we've got paramedics right now. Why don't we do it ourselves? And the answer was, they ordered the equipment, but because of the back orders, they couldn't get it in. Spatial needles, I guess it was, and so on and so forth. And then they contacted Mike up there, Sarah Bush Lincoln Hospital, and asked for him to come down and inspect it. Well, I guess you also have to have permission from the Illinois Department of Public Health up in Springfield. So when I talked to Mike today, I asked him what was the holdup. He said, well, it's Springfield. And again, at 11:42 today, he sent an email and a text to them asking to come down and just inspect it. The only thing that's necessary now, we got the equipment, we got the people, is just them blessing off on it. And you know how things like that happen. Okay. They also had applied for eligibility to receive grants, which they have to do ahead of time, that the Toledo Ambulance Board does, to receive the spatial permission through the state in order to ask for grants. So that's like a preset motion first before you can actually get it. And so they're in the process. They did that and applied for it, but they had not heard back from the state yet. So when they do that, then they can officially go in and start applying for the grants. Okay, a little bit update on that. So any questions? Don't forget about this, the truth and taxation discussion this evening, later on this evening. So we hope that goes well. Try and have the thing voted in on in December.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Mike.
Any questions, anybody? Okay. Thank you.
Who else want to do comment? Anyone else want to do public comment?
I had one, if nobody else does.
Go ahead, John.
I had a phone call from a concerned citizen, and I just wanted to make it just everybody aware, and it's more of a safety concern. And Cumberland County is a small population, but people are starting to live closer together in the rural areas. And this person had come home from they've been away from home for a while, and they had a bullet hole through their big picture window that would have probably hit them had they been home. So I just wanted to make everybody aware, and they can talk to their constituents or their friends and neighbors, just to be a little bit mindful when they're shooting at targets and stuff like that, where they're shooting at and what directions they are shooting at. I'm hoping to maybe spark a campaign with the state police and maybe the Illinois Department of Conservation to get some radio ads out and stuff to talk to people about this, because we do have some city living people come into the country to do target practice shooting and stuff like that. They may not take that into consideration, that there is somebody behind those trees and stuff like that. Everybody likes to shoot and plink shoot and everything else. Hunters are very safety minded, but this is something we need to be aware of. So.
Okay, Tom. Anybody else want to have a comment? Okay, I see none. Good morning, and we will move on to our guest for the evening. Rides Mass Transit Representative.
Here's a little information on that, you guys.
Here's what's on the scene here.
That'd be fine. Anyway,
Okay, I'm sorry, bear with me, wasn't aware that I was presenting. So, but my name is Jenna Yeager. I am from Rides Mass Transit. I'm the PR coordinator for our northern region. Rides is a state and federally funded transportation agency, and we service 17 counties throughout southeastern Illinois. We have access to intercity destinations like Springfield, Evansville, Mount Vernon, St. Louis, Champaign, beyond that. Rides began providing service in 1977 in Rose Clare. From there, it expanded to what we now recognize as our 17 county district. Some of our coverage areas are like Crawford, Clark, Wayne, Edgar, Cumberland, and Jasper, and many more. Within these counties, we are able to provide a deviated route access. That means that we are able to pick up clients at their home and drop them off at their destination. We often provide transportation for medical appointments, grocery shopping, work, and school. In our inner city destinations, we're able to take customers to medical appointments, and we're able to connect them with other transportation agencies such as Greyhound, Amtrak. And some of those connections would be to areas like Mattoon, Decatur, Springfield. We offer both local and regional routes that can help clients connect to other counties as well. Also, our scheduling process to schedule for a ride, it's a very user-friendly process. We just ask that the person call us with their name, date, location, time. For local trips, we just ask it to be an hour in advance. For regional, we ask at least a day in advance to be able to accommodate that. And it's a $2 cost each way for that as well. And that's kind of the gist of us. Do you guys have any questions?
So when you say regional, you could pick somebody up here in Cumberland County and take them to Decatur to an appointment?
Yes.
And that would cost $2 each way?
That depends. It would be more than $2 if they have an MCO plan though. I do believe that they help pay for that. And we would just ask that they contact their MCO plan and then they contact us and schedule that ride through that. So it kind of varies depending on the location. I would just recommend calling our call center and they can give you more information depending on that location.
And that would be this number, the 844
Yes.
number?
Yes, for this county, that would be this top number here on the back of the flyer or brochure.
And anybody can call and get a ride.
Yep, anyone. It's open to anybody.
Super.
Yeah.
Anything else?
is there a limit of the distance that you will travel for someone? I mean, you probably said that, but I didn't quite catch it.
I'm sure that there is a distance limit. However, I have not ever had that question or heard what the limit is. It's a really good question.
It just can't be outside of your zone
Yeah,
range.
yeah. Unless it's for like certain things like medical appointments, we are able to take them to like Evansville and Benson's, like that type of thing. But up here would probably be like Champaign.
I've had people show up in rides truck to pay their taxes.
Oh, really?
Then you
Yeah.
can ride and get your taxes.
Really anything, grocery shopping, school, work, whatever.
Yeah,
So,
they go by my house twice a day. I wave. Right?
yeah, yeah. Pretty friendly. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
Okay, well, thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Oh, yes.
Okay, that's next order of business. Okay, next I need a motion to approve the agreement with HCL. Just that company that has to do with solar I think that is big. Ben Bland's involved with this company. Have we got
This would be the consulting firm that we're talking about hiring.
right, are we ready to make an agreement with them or are we not?
I did not read this over, so it does say in there where the county would not be liable for any expense of the solar farms would be responsible for the cost.
Yeah, within the agreement, I have an agreement, HLR has an agreement with RWE as far as payment for services. In the text of the agreement between HLR and the county, I referenced that agreement, and there would be no.
Brian, did you have a chance to look at that?
Solar or wind.
Yes. I think I worded it. Renewable energy.
This issue would be the one we talked about in the committee meeting, that just to make sure that they're on the hook for enough to fully compensate in this firm.
Well, Brian, if I may, they were referring to, that's two different things. Within the road use agreement, there's a payment for services for review of the traffic impact analysis. Basically deals with the costs of any road repair or culvert repair, documents associated with the road use agreement. What they were referencing there was just basically an ordinance compliance, and it's completely separate from what's referenced in the road use.
Each road use agreement may have miles and miles of different, so that cost could be a lot different.
By me.
Okay. You just want to vote on the agreement.
I'll make a motion to accept the HL&R as our consulting
I'll second.
firm.
We have a second.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay, Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Hilton.
Yes. Okay, motion passed. I need a motion to approve FY 23-24 budget. Been on display since whenever. And, I think the final number was a positive $790 to the positive budget. You know, make that motion?
Close.
Go to the negative one.
Well, I still don't like how we did the cutting back of the public defender to get those numbers.
What would you propose?
So I'm past that point now.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
No.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Hilton.
Yes. Motion carried. Now I need a motion to approve the county levy for the FY 23-24. I think it's in your packet.
These levy numbers are all within the budget lines for property tax. Use the CPI of 5%. Come up with the final.
Okay. It should be a doable levy.
I'll make the motion.
I'm sorry, I was sidetracked. What's the rate increase for this levy? 5%?
CPI is 5. We're about 4.997 is what it's figured at. And all these figures are what's in your budget. Yes.
Waiting on a motion.
We have the motion, we need a second.
I'll second.
Beard,
No.
Slade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Clayton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. And motion carried. Okay. You just set a date for a special board meeting in case we need to, amend the budget, amendments to the budget, the last day of the fiscal year.
Yeah, be tentative. We could cancel if we don't need
Okay, this is a tentative date. And if we don't need it, we will cancel it. Is that all right?
Absolutely.
What day do we have to?
What's the final date
it. But we have to do it before the 30th or by the
It has to
30th.
be done by the 30th.
of November?
I have amendments in here today. As long as nothing goes haywire, we shouldn't need it.
Should be.
In case something
It's Thanksgiving.
goes weird, I'd rather have it set tentatively. Be
Next
covered.
week.
We don't need it, we cancel it.
And what do you have in there that you're projecting there's a possibility?
I have the amendments in the budget, like in your packet now to vote on
Okay.
tonight, so hopefully get it so you don't have to have another meeting.
Looks like the health department's got theirs in there too.
Yes,
So all the departments got it covered.
I have them covered, yes, and Sherry has hers covered, yes.
I can do the 28th or the 30th. If we have to,
This is just if something
What days are those?
Tuesday
astronomical or something
or
happens.
Monday or Wednesday, I think.
Monday's the 27th.
Oh, no, Tuesday,
That's
Tuesday or Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I could do Tuesday or Thursday also. I can't do Monday.
Tuesday, we're talking about December?
November.
November.
So 28th.
28th or the 30th.
And Jan, you said the 28th, that's good?
I can't, yeah, I can do the 23rd or 3rd. I just can't do 27th for that week.
Okay. 28th is good. Anybody else?
Can't do the 29th either.
Lord?
It's fine. 28.
Okay. Huh?
What time?
7.
7 a.m.?
7 o'clock.
I can even do 7 a.m.
No.
I'm not gonna be here at 7 a.m.
28th, right? Okay, the 28th, okay, let's have a motion to that effect, I guess.
Make the motion.
I've made the motion.
Second.
Slade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Clayton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Okay, moving on. I need a motion to approve the lease agreement between EMA and the Cumberland County. We've had this agreement for years, I think, and it's been working out quite well. On this rent, $4,000 per year, and 11 monthly statements, 11 installments.
So you say we've been doing this for years?
His budget.
Quite a while.
So
Several years.
so there's all normal, it's all routine stuff.
The reason he does this so he can qualify for a grant to pay for most of this. I think.
Yeah.
half it's paid for through his grant, so he just makes an agreement to pay to the Cumberland County, you know. It's a good, it works out.
I'll move it.
Second.
Janet? Jonathan?
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Wolfenberg.
Yes. Okay, talk about EMA. They voted, sent us a resignation letter. I hate to see that, because, but he did a good job.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised seeing that.
Well,
Yeah.
once you heard you were going.
Yeah.
He just working, too much work for him, he just covered up everywhere. So I need a motion to approve his resignation letter.
Motion.
Uh,
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Wolfenberg.
Yes. Okay, next I need a motion to advertise for the FEMA position vacancies.
Have we had anybody showing interest? I mean,
Well, talked to Joe today, he says one person showing some interest, but he didn't want to say the name. So we're hoping somebody will be out there to do it. So we'll just advertise and hopefully something will show up. Oh, by the way, Joe's resignation takes effect, last day of December, first of January, so
got enough time.
got a little time. So
Very little time. It'll come past before we know it.
that ain't much.
Yeah, and then, they have to go through some training, don't they?
I don't think so. I asked Joe that question. I don't. It's better if they did, but I don't hold them to this. I'm just not real sure.
I'll make a motion.
Okay,
Do we have the criteria of what's required?
I think I do have to.
I'll second. Write another.
All right, Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon.
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Wolfenberg.
yes. Okay, motion carried. Next, I need a motion to approve the resolution setting the public defender's salary. I think that's in the packet somewhere. I guess the salary is $80,000 per year.
That's what
Brian, what do you think?
we put in his budget.
Never paid.
I asked the wrong person.
I should have.
He probably is. I understand.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Okay, so he was paid 75,000, right? He went 80,000. That's right.
You also get reimbursed 66 2/3% of the salary. From the state.
That's pretty cool. Everybody good with it?
Am I making a motion?
Motion. Oh, Janet,
Yeah.
second.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Wolfenberg.
Yes, motion carried. Now I need a resolution to approve this animal control salary for FY 2024. That's also in your packet. Animal control salary on page 32. Salary should go to $20,447 per year. Animal control. That's right. Mhm. Mhm.
And it's up from what? Last year? About 5% increase. One second.
Yeah, it was 20,000, it's up about 40%, I think.
4.99.
All right, I'll make a motion.
Right.
I'll second.
Second, okay, I have a second.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay, Beard,
Yes.
Wolfenberg.
Yes. Okay, next is we need a motion to approve the resolution setting operation and maintenance salary for 23-24. In the packet, it says there, salary needs to 3% increase at the $20.50 per hour. For the maintenance guy, his assistant would be $15.45.
Let's still just doing so many hours a week.
Trying to keep them under the 1,000.
I stay under 1,000 hours a year for part-time. Yeah, that's what we have to, they try to stay under 1,000 hours, 999 hours.
Well, no, you're saying the word try.
Well,
They've been doing it.
I know, well, I'm just saying, that's what it has to be.
Well, you're right. They've always have, put this way. And I assume they have to, or else we'll have to make a change to that. Something.
You okay with that, Richard? I'll make a motion.
Second.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Holtenbrink.
Yes. Okay. Next, I need a motion to approve the appointment of Paul McKillop to Toledo Fire Protection District to fill the vacancy from Steve Layton's resignation. So,
I definitely will make that motion. I do know Paul McKillop. We're very fortunate to have him on that board.
Is he here tonight?
no, he's not here. I do know him too. I do know him.
I'll second
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
it. Yes.
Holtenbrink.
Yes. Next order of business. Need to hold a truth and taxation hearing for the special service areas. And some of them went up more than 4.99%, so that's requiring a truth and taxation hearing.
I still say that, I would like to see it on the ballot and let the people decide, for their future.
I agree with that.
Can you-
Put a question on the ballot, let them decide.
What would your question be?
They want to take it up to the
If they want to tax
0.4,
increase.
whatever it is, that's the max.
Well, what about well, who else would decide? SSA board. They haven't even said about it. They want to question it. Is it their responsibility to ask for that increase, or
Wouldn't you like to know what your boss has to say about it?
Statute says we have to send letters if we want to raise the max rate.
would you still have to do a truth and taxation if they voted yes for it?
What would it cost the county to put it on the ballot to see if they even want that question to be on? To
You don't have that number? Here, you can use my calculator.
Put it on the box?
No, I'm talking about just putting the question on the ballot.
That won't cost nothing, would it?
I don't see why it would cost anything.
But you
To
still have to
see-
send out the letters.
No, to see if they even would want us to even send
Well,
out
I think
the
what he's,
letter
I
for
think
that
what he's
question.
saying is just to put it on the ballot, give the people of the central district a chance to vote for like in April. So when it comes to this time of the year, at least we know, yes, raise the levy for the next step of the ambulance service, or no, we don't want to support the Toledo ambulance service anymore, whatever. Is that what you're saying, Don?
Let the public decide.
But this time, it's not gonna be, it's not
No, it's not
gonna
gonna
be.
do anything this time.
Yeah, okay.
What, let's see if I understand this correctly.
Go ahead.
If for some reason it doesn't pass, it will fall back to the existing rate that we're paying now. It will stay at that rate.
No.
Right?
No, it would just fall back to the
We
SSA
make-
board. to make the decision.
We have to make a decision.
That's
That's the
up to
same
you
board
guys making the
making the
decision, but then you'd be saying, okay, I want to go against who votes me in office, or I want to do what they want.
But the board is also obligated to make an educated decision when you were voted in office. and laying out the facts and showing the numbers, if it doesn't pass, it will fail. Unless St. John goes over to the fire department, but
Well,
we've already went down this rabbit hole 100 times.
we've been doing this every year. That's why we need to close it up. I know. And when it is turned over to the fire department, assuming that it does, the rate's probably gonna be higher still. We've got that.
It has to.
So it is awkward and it is difficult. So we can either go with what they're asking right now, or we can put it on the ballot.
I mean,
This is
we
really
have
good.
to, we have to go with what they're asking for. We have no choice of that, but I mean, I see what Todd's saying. He's wanting the confidence that he knows that he's doing the right thing, because it's not his area that he's voting for on this. He's just wanting confidence backed up that he's making the right decision for what the people want in the area.
Bob, you got something to say?
Well, the fact of the matter is, the money's already been approved by the voters. The money's there. All we're asking for is that that money be across the board, be even, everybody be 22. I mean, some people aren't even going, it's not even going to affect somebody. It's just going to affect the District North.
Yeah, it's
It's going to bring everybody even. That's all we're asking. The money's already been approved by the voters. It's just going to bring everybody up even.
You understand why it wasn't even in the first place?
Because the voters didn't want it that way, because some of them didn't want to pay the tax. And the SSA didn't approve it because they were trying to they were trying to take care of themselves. That's why. That's why, because they had buddies on the SSA. And they left it that way for a long time. That's why the ambulance service is in the shape it's in today. Because the right thing wasn't done. I don't know why you keep pushing that into the fire department. Because, I mean, you're a long ways from getting the fire department there.
I'm looking forward to the day that they do.
Well, good luck. Good luck with that. Because right now, it don't look like Greenup's gonna have an easy go of it. I mean, you might, because Greenup's running their butts off. I mean, I listen to it on the radio all the time. But back to the subject at hand. I mean, the money is already approved, it's already there. The SSA is just asking that we can get it up. The money that's there, utilize it to make it up where we can run. It's not gonna solve all the problems. Because it's gonna be a struggle.
It's a struggle now. It's been a struggle for years. It's been closed for 10 months. I mean, it's a struggle.
Well, it's gonna be a struggle
for everybody.
But, the thing of it is, and I explained that when we were struggling with it before, the thing of it is, it's a private company. We don't have to ask for tax money at all. We can come to you and ask you for money at any time. I mean, we can do that at any time. And do I think that's the right thing to do? No. I think it should be just like the other two ambulance services. It should never been done this way.
Right. So you're saying that the Toledo ambulance should merge with the fire department like the other two?
Well, not
ambulances?
necessarily. It could be its own entity.
So, but you just said.
But
that
you're
they
gonna
should be
have to
like the other
tax it.
two.
You're gonna have to tax it for itself. I mean, it can run itself, but you're gonna have to tax it. That's what I'm saying.
Anyway, all right.
But back to the subject at hand, I've explained where we're at as an SSA, So there you have the SSA's opinion and
Okay, Bob.
where we're at. Thank you for your time.
Okay, Todd, how would you word this that you went on the ballot? How would you word it?
Well, just like he said, for them to have the board have an educated decision.
To raise
What
the
we're
taxes,
voting for.
to raise-
They're not gonna see, oh, you're
It would
increasing
just be,
taxes.
it'd be an
They're
opinion.
gonna be, no.
You're gonna ask to have those taxes raised to
I
what
guess the
level?
question could be is, do they want to provide a property tax for an ambulance service, or do they want to get rid of the ambulance service?
I don't, think that's a fair question.
That's not a fair question. They're all gonna say they want to keep the ambulance service.
Is this the time to
You say
decide
they do,
this?
but let's say maybe they don't. I don't know. We don't really know what the public will
I
vote.
know that. You know, there's nobody gonna say shut the ambulance service down.
But they gotta pay for it. So they have to make that decision.
Well, then it's all over.
Is this the time to figure that out?
You want it on the March ballot.
Yeah, so that has to be
I would
in
like to see
January,
something on the
right?
ballot, and we can talk about that later.
Right.
Well,
that has to
now
be
you
in
gotta tell the
January.
number that they want to raise their tax to a certain level or not.
And we can figure out what the wording would be.
So we would like to have that done by the meeting in January at the latest, and preferably at the
I'll look at the
meeting
deadline.
in December. Yeah, so we have to find out what the deadline is by the state.
Okay. Any other discussion on that?
We need a hearing for both Area 2 and Area 3.
Oh, did we do this here, truth and taxation?
We
Didn't vote on
haven't.
it yet?
Do you want to set a date? Do you want to do it before the December board meeting? What do you guys want to do?
Can we table it for now and do it in December?
Not really.
We have to have the truth and taxation hearing. We have to
Oh,
pass the
so that's
levy.
the date that you were wanting.
Let's get it before the board meeting, December board meeting. Well, we also got a solar meeting.
Well, not, we haven't set one up
Okay.
yet.
Let's go for truth and
All right,
taxation.
so we're setting the date for the
I
truth
just-
and taxation.
I have to
hearing.
have it in the paper by certain time.
All right, so
If I put it in the 30th, let's see, the 30th paper,
November 30th.
then we could have it. Okay. Or if I put it in next week, I can have it up through the 8th, I think. If I put it in next week's paper, we can have the hearing anywhere from the 30th to the 8th.
So the hearing's just for the one area.
Area 1 or Area 2 and 3 will be over 5% increase
2 and 3 will be.
to get to the 22 cents.
Yeah, but most of it will go up in Area 3. And currently, they are subsidized in Areas 1 and 2, and the subsidy will be bigger. The average cost to pick up in Areas 1 and 2 will be $200 per call, and average cost to the pickups in the Area 3 is $1,800. So that's just based on the usage. So the subsidy will be coming from Area 3 for Areas 1. That's how it works.
And that's why it's always a difference.
Yeah, that's why it's a problem. That's why the SSA has been structured the way it has been. It was never meant to be even. because the usage is not even. So that's why it's important to put it in front of the taxpayer. But whatever you guys want to do, I'm the only one that's living in that district, so I'm the one that it affects most directly. But as a taxpayer, we have patients who need that ambulance. So we also want
So we need to have a truth and taxation. hearing.
What about the week of the 4th through the 8th? Any day? Any-
The only days I have open is the 7th and 8th.
I would prefer the 7th, it's a Thursday.
I wasn't even going to say the 8th because I knew nobody was going to be available.
So, December.
Yeah, what do you think, guys?
Let's just have an extension council meeting on the 7th of December, but
What time? How late does it go?
I think it's 6.
Where is it?
Mattoon?
You can be here by 7 for you.
Yeah, surely.
You tell me how long Jesse's gonna have the meeting and I'll tell you maybe yes, no. I don't know how long, I mean, I can't tell you how long the meeting's gonna be.
So not the 7th. is what I'm
This is
hearing.
a hearing that lets people talk.
It's Friday.
We have.
I don't care. It's just another day to me.
We have that
Same here.
board meeting.
I'll have to do Friday again.
During the day.
So it looks like the 8th, you're good?
Friday night.
We get paid double on finance, just kidding.
Sure.
Just
I can make
kidding, just
I can make it
kidding.
the 8th as well.
I can make it on the 8th if you want.
I can make it the 8th.
Should make paper on. It might take a while.
Well, not everybody has to be here either. That's something to consider. If you want
Need a
to,
quorum.
yeah. If Janet can't make it, no offense, Janet, I mean, we want your company.
I'll remember you.
We better set it at 6, so she can make sure she's there.
Yeah. 7:30. 7:30 on the 8th or on the 7th? 7:30. Why are we going so late? Go 7:30 in the morning.
I work.
I work.
Why don't we do 6 o'clock?
Morning?
No, the 8, 6 o'clock.
It's not on the 8th, Friday night, that works. That
We
work?
could do
If
6
it's at
o'clock.
5 in the morning, we can do that.
6 o'clock on the 8th.
6 p.m. Friday, December 8th. Is that correct?
Slam the gavel down on it.
What time is it?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. on the 8th, December.
It'll be dark, so you're gonna be in by then.
That'll work.
We can do area 2 first, and then at say 6:30, do area 3. How about that?
You say,
Yeah, let's do it. Okay?
This is truth and taxation.
you say
Mhm.
6 o'clock?
Yes.
So I'll publish it in next week's paper.
That'll work. Okay, you need a motion?
Yeah.
Might make a motion to do this on the 8th at 6 o'clock.
Make it.
Second.
On time.
Okay. Beard?
What's the question?
So hold the truth and taxation hearing on December 8th at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't make it. That's all right, go ahead.
Like
Sure, yeah.
I may not make it.
Carmen,
I can't make it.
like
I have another.
Yes.
Gotta have
Hold
4
it.
people.
Yes.
You better show up.
Okay, motion carried.
I usually have a date on Friday.
Bring him along.
Does he know?
Okay.
I don't know, it depends.
Need to check on committees here. Committee appointments for OEI, ROE, and CCDC. What's the ROE?
regional.
Gotcha.
Janet said she.
Janet will take that ROE committee. And
Yeah,
you will do that.
yeah, because I messed with, yeah, that was up a
You're
long
you're a
time.
good choice. That'll work.
It's no big deal.
I was gonna take the CCDC.
You will?
You will. CCDC. Very good. All we need, right?
Mhm.
Okay, need a motion to do that.
Yeah, motion.
Sean made a motion. Kyle seconded it.
Okay. Beard?
Yes.
Blake?
Yes,
Carmen?
Yes.
Layton?
Yes.
Kay? Holcomb.
Yes. Motion carried. Now you motion to form a broadband committee and appoint members. What's the broadband committee, Tom?
I'm sorry, go back on this. Let's go back on this, truth and taxation committee meeting. I really have to be there. And I can't make it on that date. I'm serious. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Usually my schedule is pretty flexible, but I can't do it. So let's go with the 7th, please. Janet, I'm sorry about that.
What day was you busy?
Seven.
Oh, you was busy on the 7th?
I'm busy on the 7th. I mean, the extension council meets at that too.
Everybody else think on the 7th?
So what's wrong with the
Yeah.
6th?
Yeah, what about the 6th? Well, we're scheduling it all around his schedule.
Yeah.
That's what we're
Okay.
doing.
The 7th at 6 o'clock. Work time.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Everything is around your schedule.
It's fine. I don't have to be here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So that then any date is open.
Yes.
Well, let's try, with him, that makes 5, possibly. If he can make it.
7:30.
You're talking about the 7th.
6:30, would you
Six.
say? Okay.
I'd like to do 6 o'clock.
Okay, we on the 7th now?
7 and 6 o'clock. 7 and 6 o'clock. I'm sorry about that.
Todd, you can make it.
I just-
Good.
All right, let's do.
Yeah, if it's later in the evening,
6
I
o'clock.
can make it 6.
But I know you said 6:30.
If I could send sick people home on certain days, I would.
So where we at on time then?
6 o'clock work.
6 o'clock.
I mean, there's no way I can make it at 6.
Start at
No way.
6?
Okay, then we'll just have 5 board.
Okay,
Okay,
we are at 6.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I got wishy-washy on that, but I really have to be here on
Okay.
that one.
Need a motion to do it on the 7th at 6 o'clock.
7 to
Just
6
they can't
o'clock, I'll
come out.
make that.
Second.
All right. All right, so, okay,
Yes.
Then I go to.
Beard,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Harmon.
Yep.
Layton,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes.
All right,
Not ready for the vote.
December 6 o'clock, 7,
6
December 7th.
at 6 p.m.
6.
And we'll hold area 2. And Brian, can we just say immediately following area 3? Do I have to give it?
Can you just put them all on one big agenda? You just say at 7 o'clock, we're gonna talk about.
I have
or
to-
special
I
service
think I
area
have
one.
to list separately.
We can figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah, check the courthouse.
I'm afraid.
Okay. That means are set, okay?
Okay.
Truth and taxation, what,
Yeah, I've already forgotten.
Oh, this is the last.
so now we're down to
I mean, they
broadband.
don't have anybody.
All right.
Just never know.
Oh, that was, that back to you.
God, that would show up, you never know.
Okay, broadband committee, who's on that?
Okay, so,
Really.
right now, it's me and JT. All right. I would like to put Claire on there, and also, there are some other people. We are looking for 5 to 7 people, and that is according to BEADS. BEADS is the authorizing agency that is going to provide the grant money. We are in touch with our BEADS coordinator, and what we're doing to help it be more effective for Cumberland County is we have created an alliance between Coles, Clark, Crawford, Richland, Lawrence, and Crawford and Jasper. That's 7 of us. And so we are going to work together to bring broadband to the southeast region. And there's grant money available to hire a coordinator to see this project through. We need to get on it like this week to apply for it. There's fiscal to the state. The priority is to the unserved or underserved. 80% of Cumberland County meets that criteria. So we have a lot of opportunity to serve our county. That ratio of 80% is also very close in a lot of those other rural counties, Jasper, Clark, and others. So it's a big deal to bring it to this area. So we need a committee for that reason, is to bring all this to Cumberland County. If you want more details, I can dazzle you a little more if you want it.
Once we get committee forms, they will proceed, I see, right?
I think this was probably on that survey that we just had done. That was probably one of the biggest things, was talking about high-speed internet. So I think it is the demand for the county.
What survey you talking about, comprehensive,
Yeah, the comprehensive.
Coles County
Yeah.
comprehensive?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So, for the small number that it was, but it was hit pretty hard on there, was the need for high-speed internet. And, I think this is an opportunity for us to get it. I think that, Kyle and, Roy had worked on it previously. And I think this money was there when they was working on it. I think would have got done. Am I wrong, Kyle?
Wasn't near enough there.
Yeah, this is
This is
the
different.
mission. So
Yeah.
the money is there. If we don't do it, it's our fault.
Yeah.
All right, so the buck stops here.
Okay, so on the committee, you want Jonathan K., Claire K., Todd Layton.
Yes, for now, we're going to ask for 2 to 4 more, quite possibly.
I was thinking you need more than 3 people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
I would hope you have at least 6.
Yeah, there's one organization, it's out of Benton. It's called the Benton Institute, and they're offering 12 one-week course, or actually 12 weeks of training, but it's 1 day a week for those 12 weeks. And we can pay for that through that grant funding and so forth. And all this will be paid
Training for what?
to assemble our team,
Okay. Apply
To-
for broadband. Okay.
to apply for broadband, to understand how to write the grants, to understand how to delegate to our team and what our roles will be. And we will act autonomously as our committee, but we will also work with the surrounding counties across lines. And also everybody has questions. How are you doing it? And how are we doing it? And so forth. So it's an incredible opportunity.
Well, now vote on.
One other thing that's kind of interesting is regional planning is actually joining us. Usually we go to them and say, hey, can you help us? And this time they're coming with us and joining our team. So
They're involved.
that's a lot of confidence. Yeah, Kelly's involved, that whole group. So that's a lot of confidence they
You
have.
mean with Effingham County? You didn't say.
We are not doing Effingham. Effingham has Wabash. They actually provide to most of Spring Point Township. So Spring Point Township is mostly served. I don't think Aaron is, but some are already served there. So
Okay.
Effingham's got it covered.
Okay, somebody make the motion.
I will. To form the broadband committee and the appointed members. Jonathan, Claire, Todd. Is there anybody else?
There are some I'm talking to them. One of them got a job, so he won't have time. But we're working on it. If you know of anybody, I've got somebody else that I'm talking to, so I think we'll get up to 5 to 7 for sure.
Okay.
For now, that's a start.
All right, I need a second on that motion.
A second.
Reed? Blake?
Yes.
Harmon?
Yes.
Layton?
Yes.
Kay? Beard?
Yes.
Holcomb.
Oh, yes. Motion carried. At this time, I would like to recognize Jonathan Kay. He graduated from,
Kindergarten.
no,
Preschool?
he's a graduate of Leadership Academy Program for local government officials. It's put on by the UCCI. And, Illinois president of the UCCI, David Meyer, is county board chairman over there, Washington County. But anyway, him along with how many other people were in this graduating
I
class?
think 30 made it to the end.
30 graduating class. Okay. And so they gave him he got a plaque here actually.
Gold star.
All said and done. Right here, final plaque, official plaque. And so we'll recognize him for completing this leadership course.
Yay, me. Thank you.
All right. Are you done? I'd like to add a few things too. I think Jonathan, a lot of people probably don't see how he comes across sometimes, but I just wish we had more people like Jonathan on board that's on fire for helping the community in Cumberland County.
How many hours did it take you to do that, Jonathan?
It was 6 days. So it was 2 sets of 3 days.
Okay, I think I remember seeing some information.
It was up at U of I. So
Okay.
I was able to slip out in the evenings to play pickleball, so it was all worth it.
Okay. All righty, and now let's see, that's it for me. Bev, next.
I just need a motion to approve the county clerk and tax redemption reports for October of 2023.
We'll make the motion.
Harmon?
Yes.
Layton?
Yes.
Kay?
Yes.
Beard?
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Hockenberg.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Okay, Jenny Maynard.
I need a motion to approve the treasurer's report for October 2023.
I'll make a motion.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay.
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Hockenberg.
Yes.
I need a motion to approve the JV report for October 2023.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Kay.
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon, Layton,
Yes.
Hockenberg.
Yes.
And last, I need a motion to approve the fiscal year 2022-23 budget amendments.
Make it.
Second.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yeah.
Hockenberg.
Yes.
That's all I have.
All right, Jenny, thank you. Mr. Murray?
Okay, the first thing I'd like to bring up is not on my agenda, is the IDOT conducted an audit of their annual audit of the MIP, and Tammy balanced to the penny, so I'd just like to commend her on that. And if any of you guys want to see the audit, that Bev has a copy in her office, and I have a copy in my office as well. And the next thing I need is a motion to approve the highway bills for October 2023 in the amount of $34,705.32.
Okay.
Make a motion.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay, Beard,
Yes.
Hockenberg.
Yes.
Next thing on the agenda is to approve the resolution for improvement with IDOT for section 17-0008200 FP. This is for improvement of the Hazel Dell Road. This is a project that's been started. I applied for some extra EDP money and received that, 181,000, and Ben had already received EDP money and TARP money. And we're gonna throw our rebuild Illinois money in there for a total of $2,451,000 for that project.
Are they repaving it, or is it just that culvert and some other stuff around there?
We're just gonna replace the across the road culverts and soil cement and give it an A2 surface treatment. We don't have enough money to put hot mix on it.
Okay.
That was Ben's original plan. I'd like to do that.
concrete.
So this is just for that intersection?
It's not for near, it's all the way from 49 to 130,
Okay,
and then also a mile north up to Christensen Farms.
okay,
At the block church, we call it the Block Church Road,
okay,
TR 232A.
okay.
So yes,
So it's about 8 miles.
soil stabilized and then oil chip on top of that.
Okay.
Just like if anybody's been over by Beck Seed, it'd be the same
That's that, yeah.
as the Beck Seed Road we did this summer.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Janet, second.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay.
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Hockenberg.
Yes.
Okay, the next thing is a motion to approve a road vacation over in Vicky's Hideaway, addition to the Lloyd here. He said he's gonna be here. Lloyd Lacy.
No, he's here. He's not here.
Okay, I know Brian's been working on this and Lloyd's been working on it with the attorney for this guy. What way I understand, what happened is this guy either just bought this property where this vacation is gonna occur, or he's refinancing it, but the bank realized that he built his garage on a township road, but it just dead ends down there at the lake. So they were wanting it cleared up that he actually owned this area where this garage is. Is that correct, Brian?
When we met, that was what we got out of it. Essentially, he's just wanting to give us a road that.
So the
We're
attorneys got,
gonna give it to him.
so the attorneys are just trying to correct the mistake that was made, and Lloyd says, well, doesn't use this part of the road anyway, it's not needed, just dead ends at the lake, so you didn't have a problem with it.
So you're legally closing it.
You don't have
Giving
a
it back
problem
to the
with that.
original owner.
Make a motion.
Second.
Clayton,
Yes.
Kay, Beard, Blade,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Wolfenberg.
Yes.
Okay, the next thing I was wanting to propose a change in how the highway department is gonna construct culverts, entrance culverts from now on. And I'm just giving you this law statute, how it's worded. And what it amounts to is in the past, it's whenever someone wants a new entrance culvert, they will pay for the culvert, and the highway department would come out and put it in and pay for all the rock and everything else. Well, now it's getting where the rock is costing as much as a culvert. I just put in a 60-foot culvert for Jeff's rock up here, and that took a lot of rock. And these tractors are getting bigger and bigger, they're wanting a huge entrance, and they're wanting to add on to their entrance. And I just wanted to see if you guys would support me if I had them also pay for the rock, because some of these people have been farming for 30 years, and if they want to enrich this culvert, they know how this has been done in the past, and they can come in here and say, hey, Murray's changing everything up. I just wanted to see what you guys thought about it. Like I said, I know it's really my decision, but I just wanted to see if you'd support me trying to save the highway department a little money.
Is this supposed to be a new culvert?
Just new culverts, yeah, not existing ones. If an existing one rusts out, we'll go in and fix it with no cost to the.
Okay.
I just wanted to see what you guys thought. The law statute says they'll pay for it. It's pretty vague and clear. I know I talked to Todd about it once before, and he said that he thought they should pay
Did you
for
read
it.
it,
Right,
Bob?
Todd? That's what you were
Yeah, the
doing.
new ones, yes. Old ones, you're still replacing yourself.
So, I mean, it doesn't sound unreasonable. Costs are going up.
I think townships are starting to even have the replacement paid for by the landowner.
The whole replacement, not just the culvert and the rock.
The replacement of the culvert. Oh,
Just the culverts, or the, and the rock. The township still does the work, right?
Yeah.
No charge. My opinion, that you can go ahead and charge them for rock also, my personal opinion.
what's
That's
the
good.
portion?
Sounds good.
I just wanted to see what you guys thought, so appreciate your opinion. I'll probably go that way starting the first of the year then.
Okay.
I can break it mine now, man.
And the last thing I had on my agenda was the road use agreement signatures. I didn't know, as a board, if you guys wanted highway department, as me as the engineer and the road commissioner, to bring you a signed road use agreement, and then you guys talk about it and have the chairman sign it, or if you guys would like to have the chairman sign it and then let us pursue looking into it. I mean, is there a protocol you want to go through? This time I had Randy in this for this case for like the RWE or county run. Randy was okay with it, but I didn't have him sign it, and I haven't signed it. I know they're hoping to have you sign it as a board soon, to just to see if you'd rather we brought it to you as signed so you guys could see we agree with it, or if you'd rather sign it or not sign it because you don't agree with it. Just whatever protocol you want for the signatures. It's set up for the engineer and the township, or even the municipality and the county board chairman.
I don't know.
Fine with it.
Fortunately.
I'll go with your recommendation.
I would say maybe we could bring it to you with the road, to say that in this case, one road commissioner and me and Randy sign it, and then you guys would know how we feel, whether we agree or disagree, and you can go with it, but that's just my opinion. Whatever you guys want.
That makes sense to us, instead of us looking at it twice, you should have it signed and approved and then final say here. One
Yeah,
time.
that'll work, that'll work. That'll work. Okay. Anything else? Anything else?
That's all I had.
Okay. Next order of business, Sherry Droder, what do you got?
I'd like to ask for approval of, Health Department budget amendment number 3 to move money from the COVID response grant, add 60,000 to our budget, and then offset that in contractual expenses, 60,000. And I will point out on this amendment paper, there was a 3126 as a line item. The numbers were transposed on your paper. It says 3216. I asked Jenny, she said, just make sure that it's in the minutes.
What's the correct number?
It's 3126 is the line item. And it's transposed on this paper. It reads 3216. Typo.
Okay, so you need a motion to that effect?
Please.
I'll make it.
Second.
Okay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Sherry, thank you. Rhonda Wilson's not here. Mackenzie Easton, not here. Steve Maroon? Anything? Thank you, Steve. Ryan Robbins.
There's a letter in here about muddy bottoms, bar and grill.
Yeah,
Is
what's
that
that
taken care of?
about?
Health Department.
We're working on that with the state.
Okay,
It involves their septic system. And the campground's on the state side, the septic system's on the.
okay. And is it being taken care of? And it's just oversight and
It's gonna be a lengthy process to get them.
so it is a problem.
We've talked to Brian. But we give him copies of letters.
I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, thank you.
Okay, who got mine?
I don't have to. Oh. Would ask for a motion to approve the health prosecutor, $500, I believe.
All right.
I thought it was more than that, like 12,000.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It used to be 5,000.
Yeah, they moved it down right around COVID, I think.
Page 57. Next in here, I saw it. I don't remember what the number was.
What's that, 5,900 right here?
Oh, is it? Well, I will say that I was at the trade group meeting and the guy that's running it spoke, and it's very useful. It's going to come in handy for us as the Safety Act. It becomes more understood and very useful to help us defend that situation, as I understand. Is that somewhat there?
They're supposed to be doing it.
Yeah.
Number is 5,500. You're right. $5,500.
It's a good organization.
I'll make a motion.
It's back at.
Yeah, it is. Second.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Okay, oh, yeah, okay. Jonathan Braden's not here. Steve Sherwood's not here. Joe Voigt's not here. Michael Martin, where you got Michael?
I need a motion to accept the agreement between the ETSB and the board.
Yes, that's a very good number. I think it's $50,000 to pay.
It is.
Very good. Thank you. Need a motion to take care of that.
I'll make it.
Second.
John Blade,
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon, Layton,
Yes.
Kay.
Yes.
Beard.
Yeah.
Holcomb.
thank you, yes. Thank you, Micah. Okay, Mark Howard's not here. Mike Black talked earlier, he's got a comment, so he's in there now, right? Need to ratify payment of the manual bills in the amount of $705,631.60. Get a lot of road oil on this thing.
Make a motion.
Second.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. I need a motion to approve the payment of invoices in the amount of $86,072.18.
Make the motion.
Second.
Dan Blade, seconded.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yeah. I need a motion to approve payroll number 20 in the amount of $93,683.27.
Make the motion. Second.
Kay, Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Now I need a motion to approve payroll number 21 in the amount of $97,868.76.
Make the motion. Second.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. And I need a motion to approve payroll number 22 in the amount of $93,555.42.
I'll move it.
And Blade,
Second.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Layton, yes.
Kay,
Yeah.
Beard,
Yes.
Holcomb.
yes.
It was,
Then I need a motion to adjourn.
Before you do that, I got this letter from LCC Telecom Services. Did anybody else receive that?
I got it.
Is that something that, I mean, they're gonna build a tower over along the interstate is what it sounds like. And they're just kind of notifying us. It's some guy from New York City. So, I mean, is this something that needs our attention? I mean, it came.
I have contacted the township and I called Dick Murray about it because the last tower, not necessarily this company put in, but the last tower that was put in Spring Point Township ignored anything and did whatever they wanted. They put in a junk plastic culvert that is still causing drainage problems. So I just wanted to make sure that those guys were aware of it and stayed on top of it because they
Brian?
didn't put in the right size culvert and everything else.
What protection do we have?
Whereas.
Sorry. We're this close to adjourning, this close.
I'll make a motion to agree, yeah.
My second.
Yeah, if you want to adjourn, we can look at this later. I can read a letter and make it illegal.
That's fine.
Second.
Right. Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yeah, that's fine.
Beard,
Yes.
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.
Kyle.
Uh-oh.